festival.
Well, hey, you know what? Hey, thank you for speaking to us. 50 years is a very long time for, a film. And let me say, this year was the first time I ever watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show,
Oh, wow.
and it was at the TCM Film Festival in Los Angeles. So that was a wonderful treat.
Oh, nice.
So first of all, tell us how this documentary actually came about. Because for some reason, 50 years is a long time, and I thought we had documentaries before, but this might be the first one, right?
It's the first one on this scale for sure. The only one I can really think of before this is the VH1 Behind the Music special, and that was probably 25, 30 years ago. So it was that combination and the YouTube clip of I'm Going Home and the comments beneath that clip that really started me thinking that, oh, we need to celebrate the people who are expressing themselves so poignantly and with so much feeling, and they were so heartfelt, the comments. So the combination of there not being a proper Rocky documentary and and the comments was the genesis for the idea.
Well said. Richard, how did your son convince you to partake in this documentary? Aren't you kind of tired of this for the past 5 decades?
Absolutely, and I'm still carrying the bruises. Um, it wasn't difficult. I'd had advances from several production companies around the world. In fact, even from Germany, wanting to understand because it was 50 years, and it is a strange phenomenon. It is a strange little piece of work, isn't it? It's um, it's just a joyous, childish adventure that's turned into something far greater than its some of its parts. It's an astonishing kind of situation. But so when Linus came on board, it was fabulous for me because I knew that it was in safe hands, that there was a steady hand on the tiller, and it wasn't going to go in any direction that I found unpalatable or dismissive or let's get edgy, let's do something else. As people are, where you get let directors are difficult people. They have their own agendas.
Linus, tell us about finding all this old footage and finding everyone back to be interviewed into something like this.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pleasure going through the archival material. One of my favorite moments in the movie is when my dad talks about seeing it for the first time with an audience in Long Island, and then we found that footage from him from the actual convention. So that was those moments are great when you when we interview the subjects and then you can find the archival material to support it. 42 years later. Those are just it's just magic when that happens.
Yeah.
Richard,
I think
did you?
the other thing
Yeah,
is
go
that
ahead.
I find interesting is that some of the players in the movie really thought that this was something a show to put behind them. That this, yes, we've done it. Yes, it is in our canon. It is a part of what I've done, but I'll be remembered for the other work that I've done, after this, because this is really what it is. It's a childish piece of lovely nonsense, and it would be forgotten. That hasn't happened, and that's another interesting thing, that it's just had this. It was it was its power wasn't acknowledged because it wasn't understood. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. No one understood it,
Hmm.
and people are still trying to understand the longevity of it. But yeah, I mean, there's so many factors at play that have made it last this long.
So for the both of you, what factors do you believe that actually made it for this long, for 50
Well,
years?
there's my dad's music as well. I think at least it's a huge part of it because everyone loves listening to their favorite album. You can't get bored of listening to your favorite album, and people now get to listen to their favorite album with loads of other people who enjoy it that much. The other reason is Tim Curry's performance. I think an argument could be made that without it, we might not be talking about it today. And the third, and maybe even the most important thing, is the community and connection that it has provided for fans all this time. So I think there's as many factors at play that made it last this long.
Richard, what do you credit all of this to?
The longevity of the show, obviously the fan connection, this back week after week after week connection has obviously been a strong point. The success of the movie has also, been a big part of it. But I think, as far as the show is concerned, I think from a producer's point of view, and I'm connected with the stage show more than the film. And from our producer's point of view, it's a guaranteed return of the investment of your ticket price. You're going to have a good evening. You're going to enjoy yourself. You are going to laugh. You are going to tap your foot, and you're going to be amused. And you're going to go home feeling slightly better than you did when you started out. From that point of view, I think that's part of its longevity. It is a guaranteed good night out.
And I just add as well, I think the Rocky allowed people to feel like anyone to feel like they can be sexual beings. I think we have a lot of shame over our bodies, and sometimes, and society tells us what sexuality should look like and be like, and Rocky allowed people, no matter how big, tall, or short or thin they were, to feel like they could participate and be sexual beings. And I think that's something that shouldn't be taken lightly.
And are you both surprised the fact that, for 50 years, we're talking about, going from like the boomer generation to Generation X, to Generation Y, to Alpha Generation, Millennials, and even, the Generation Z is still accepting, Rocky Horror.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Three to four generations of Rocky fans.
Yes, I was down at an old cinema theatre in Cheltenham, where I was born, one evening, doing a live show, and a granny came up with a granddaughter, and embarrassingly, Granny went down on her knees. I was standing next to the bar upstairs after the show, and this Granny came, and she went down on her knees and went, "Richard O'Brien," and fell on her knees. And the granddaughter was going, "Get up, Granny, get up."
That is wonderful. Well, let me wrap it up with one last question, because one of the things that wasn't addressed in the documentary is, the ideas of, more films or sequels, which, there has been attempts, or even like a full reboot, which seems like that's what Hollywood is all about now these days, is, reboots and sequels. Richard, are you open to something like that, or do you think, the original will keep on enduring for another 50 years?
I did try. The shock treatment was supposed to be monsters rising from the grave, but the director didn't want to go down that road, so I had to scrap that first draft, and we wound up with shock treatment. I also tried once another afterwards story of Riff Raff being back on the planet, and the old Queen saying, "Where's my son, Frank?" And him saying, "Oh, I left him back on the planet. Can't tell her he's killed him," and she sends him back to find Frank. It was called Revenge of the Old Queen. That just was a first draft, and the studio didn't want to pick it up. So I have been down that road, but I think truthfully, it's just as well. It's better left alone, I think, don't you? I know Glee tried to do a version of it, and then Lou Adler did a television production of it, which again didn't really work, and one knows why, because we had a better cast, didn't we?
You certainly did. Better cast and better music. So, Linus, Richard, thank you very much for speaking
Thanks,
to us
Jake.
about Strange
Lovely to
Journeys
talk
at
to
the
you.
Story of Rocky
Thank
Horror.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Take care.
Bye.